up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're not done already, subscribe to Gamers Boxing, like the video, do all of those amazing stuff. Hopefully, you guys can hear me all well and good. It seems like, it seems like everything is all good. We don't even need the headphones, actually. Hold on. Yeah, we don't even need the headphones. Big up, big up, big up, fam. It's been a it's been a mad couple of hours. Like a couple of hours been a mad day, to be fair. Conor Benn, bloody hell, bloody hell. I don't even know where to start, man. We'll start with the news. We'll start with the clear and obvious bit of news. For me, this came at a huge shock. So, Conor Benn, well, according to British Boxing Board of Control, on the evening of the 4th of October, the board found out that effectively he's been tested positive for some kind of thingy bob. All right. I think it's a fertility drug. Now, everywhere that I've been looking at, I think Adam Booth said it, Adam Catterall said it, and another person said the same thing as well. It is to my understanding, it is a substance used in, I think it's to boost testosterone. To my understanding, let me get Adam Catterall's tweet up. Apologies, guys. We would have had all of this right up and ready, but fam, this is an emergency stream, as you probably well know. Hold on. I've got it here. Somewhere. Was it Adam? It was Adam Catterall, right? Surely. Someone said it. Somebody said it. I saw the tweet. Anyway, effectively, what it does is that it boosts testosterone by up to 50%. Some places, when I looked at it, it said 200%. But regardless of this, it is according to the expert, it is an actual banned substance. Ludabella, that's what it was. How could I forget? Ludabella. I don't know why Ludabella was piping up, to be fair, but Ludabella effectively said that based on, bearing in mind, Ludabella is a boxing promoter who's been in the industry for how long? Probably 20 plus years. Here it is. Okay. Let me share my screen. Bruv, it's all mad in the dunya. It's all mad in the dunya. Apologies, guys, if I'm bugging out, but it is all mad. Anyway, share screen, present. Let me get rid of these extra tabs and all, because we don't really need them. Delete. Fam, it's an absolute madness. So, present. Not slides. You don't want to present my slide. Present screen. Apologies, guys. I sound proper excited, because I am effectively. So this. Let me zoom in a lot. So, according to Ludabella, and I saw this in a couple of other places, Clomid, aka Clompiv, bruv, I don't know how to say it, fam. So apologies if I'm butchering it, but clomiphene, citrate, bruv, I don't know, is a prohibited substance by the NFL, the International Olympic Committee, and WADA, so World Anti-Doping Association. Clomid can be misused by athletes to boost performance or sports performance and counter side effects of anabolic steroid use. I saw this in a couple of places. So in Adam Booth, I think Adam Booth said that as well, that this drug effectively masks other drugs as well. Adam Booth, sorry, not Adam, flipping, how many Adams in this world? But effectively, this masks other drugs. And Adam Booth, of course, for those of you guys who are unaware, Adam Booth is a world-renowned boxing trainer, one of the best to come out of the UK, and has trained the likes of David Hay, etc. So, hold on. Where did he say it? This is one thing that I wanted to talk about as well. According to Adam Booth, who's trained a lot of fighters, he said is that if you test positive on an A sample, you're not suspended until the B sample is also positive. Hold back on the news breaking, leave it until 72 hours before the fight, and then report it and ask for the B sample test, knowing full well that the B test can't be done before the fight. We'll talk about this because this is one little trick that I did not know of. So, according to Adam Booth, okay, there are circumstances where the fighter and the teams know of the band, the band test or the failed test, shall we say. They then report on it or they leak it to the media very, very close to the fight, so that effectively the B sample, where it effectively takes 72 hours to get the B sample and get it tested, you won't have enough time to do it. Now, from now until the fight happens, I think it even might be 72 hours on the dot, to be fair. From today, I think it might be 72 hours or very close to it. And so to get the B sample, it won't be enough time, which is a bit weird as well. I don't know why it's not enough time to get the B sample. I'm not a doctor, but apparently it takes a 72 hours to get a B sample. They take 2 samples on the day of the test. One test, an A and a B. Test the A, but the problem is that when I was listening, and I'm trying to figure out when this was when was the test taken, and when did they actually have the findings. Those specific dates are very, very unbeknown to us. I saw an interview with Eddie Hearn and Kugan Cassius on IFL TV, and he effectively said, well, when Kugan asked, when did you know about the failed drug test? He said that he didn't really answer it. He said, I found out the same time the other team found out, but he didn't really mention the dates. I heard somewhere where it was back in August. I heard another place where it was a couple of weeks ago, but effectively, I don't think they found out today. We found out today, but I don't think they found out today. Big up everyone as well. Big up Abdurrahman. Much love. Big up you, man. I've done more as well. Is the fight still going ahead, or is it just many or not? Wait, or not? So many. Okay, is the fight going ahead or not? So many contradicting news. Effectively, been looking forward to this fight for months, and this happens. Boxing, charge it to the game. This is the sport of boxing. You got to charge it to the game. Is this fight going ahead? I don't know. I don't know if the fight's going ahead. I'm not too sure, because effectively, I'll explain the situation to those guys who aren't, very heavily into boxing. From my interpretation, UCAD the UK Anti-Doping Agency is the designated agency for the British Boxing Board of Control. Okay, that's their thing. They say if you failed this one, effectively, we lock you off. Now, VADA is a voluntary one, but VADA is I think it's voluntary anti-doping agency. That one is a lot more extensive, which means that they look into the test in further detail. I think it's called picograms or something like that, picograms. I don't know. They look into a more of a microscopic level to look to see if you basically consumed any kind of banned substances. Now, in terms of they look at it from microscopic level to find out if you've been consuming anything dodgy. The issue with the pair of them is that they don't have the same items that are banned on both lists. So there are a lot of cases where something will be banned on the UCAD, or not UCAD. It will be banned on VADA, but it won't be banned on UCAD, and vice versa. Some things may be banned amongst the UK anti-doping agency, but not VADA, which leaves a lot of ambiguity. Okay, this test for Conor Benn he tested positive against the voluntary anti-doping agency, which is a lot bigger, it's a lot more global, and it's a lot more microscopic. They're the elite ones. The issue is that the Boxing Board of Control in the UK does not recognize VADA as being a legitimate source for anti-doping effectively, and therefore legally they can't actually turn around and say, by the way, you've been banned in with VADA, so we're going to ban you as well. They can't legally do that, okay, because they don't really recognize it themselves. In UCAD, Conor Benn tested positive throughout, which it's all over the place. But effectively, will this fight go ahead? The Boxing Board of Control turned around and said, listen, this fight will not go ahead. This fight's not going ahead. There's been some legal disputes. For me personally, if you're asking me personally, should this fight go ahead? My personal opinion is no. Absolutely no. There's already for Chris Eubank Jr., which is on the receiving end of a lot of this, there's a lot of concerns about the weight and the fact that he'll be a lot more drained, therefore risking himself and risking his health, and potentially, if everything goes a bit more left, which is plausible in circumstances where you are a lot more drained than usual, he could come out extremely bad of this. I don't need to spell it out for you guys, but if you're extremely weight trained and you go into a fight and you get your head punched in, the effects of that could be very, very fatal. So that is the big risk of this whole fight to begin with. Now, if you incorporate this as well, it's regardless of whether this is the very trace amounts, it's not going to be taken well. It's not going to be taken well in the boxing world. And you saw concerns about Chris Eubank Jr. fighting from his dad, who unfortunately earlier this week I think he was sectioned because he was suffering from mental health disorders as well, mental health illnesses. And hopefully he is recovering and he's all good mentally. But all the factors combined, should this fight go ahead? My personal opinion, absolutely no. Lock it off. Lock it off. Yeah, because fam, if they pushed for this fight to go ahead and anything happens to Chris Eubank Jr., bruv, boxing, like it's good. Basically, we might as well just lock off the channel after that, because they're just going to ban boxing in the UK. If Chris Eubank Jr. comes out of this fight extremely affected, having all of us express concerns of the weight trade, including his father, and also the added fact that Conor Benn has tested positive for a banned substance, it's going to be a shit show, basically. Pardon my language, but you don't know what I'm talking about. It's going to be absolutely hard to recover from this. Okay, so, and I've heard it from Eddie. Eddie said effectively, what did Eddie say? Actually, before we get there, Eddie say, let me read your comments. Apologies, guys. I'm going off a word, but this is an emergency live, guys. So you guys can like the flipping. Apologies, guys. If you can like the video, that would be amazing. And if you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, I'll be extremely grateful for that. Also, Big Man Tin, it's not looking good, bro. I'm telling you, it's not looking good. Big up Vibes as well. You want to talk versus BB British Boxing Board of Control can't cancel the fight because VADA is not part of their protocol. This is what I'm talking about. It's very difficult to then, even though they should, you can't use that as justification. It's a bit like trying to arrest someone in the arrest someone in the UK if they broke the law in Saudi Arabia. It's a bit like that basically. Very difficult to then bring them back to the UK unless they did some madness. It's very difficult to then ban them in another organization. You understand? Yeah, picogram. Picogram is a grain of salt in the swimming pool, and VADA can catch it exactly. This is what I'm saying. If you've got like a grain of a banned substance in your body, VADA will find it, fam. Yeah, you're not gonna. Basically, they will catch you effectively, and VADA can VADA can test positive for drinking Ribena. This is what I'm talking about. Now, a lot of people have been saying this, that they, Conor Benn should be, people who test positive should be banned for life, and it's hard to do that. He should be accountable. I do hold him 100% accountable for this, but banned for life, it's very difficult to do that. If you're, let's just say you're drinking Ribena and you test positive for a banned substance, it's kind of long. Like, imagine getting your whole career taken away from you for that. It's very, very, very unfair. Very, very unfair. It's a bit harsh. Now this one, even though it's the banned substance is used for things like I think it was, what was it? It's a fertility substance that is used to mask other anabolic steroids. All of those factors combined, for me, and hearing from Eddie, it was trace amounts, and therefore Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. have both agreed that they are happy for this fight to go ahead. Having spoken to their, I think they've spoken to their promoters, their managers, and the doctors that can advise them on this matter. They're happy for the fight to go ahead. But me personally, I'm sorry. I at this point, yeah, you got to lock it off. You got to lock it off, because at this point, if the B sample comes back positive, Conor Benn should have the book thrown at him. Let's not forget White failed PEDs and was later cleared. I don't know what's going on, fam. It's long. It's absolutely long. Hold on. It's hard to battle for life because all of the chicken in the shops have steroids in them. That's true. The little things have got. I think even Dave Coldwell. Dave Coldwell will say things like, I think long ago, I think it was Hopi Price or someone, one of his fighters. I think it was Jordan Gill or Hopi Price. One of them. They were just about to, eat an Actimel or something like that, and he slapped out their hand and he threw it in the bin. He said, "Bro, what are you doing, man? This thing is banned." So, yeah, it gets like that. There's certain things that are on the banned substance list that could be found in a lot of household products. But then again, for Conor Benn, that is not an excuse, because you know why? Conor Benn has got a lot of money to hire a nutritionist to sift through the products and goods that he's eating. Yeah, it's not like, I'm not being funny, but to fill up a fridge, how many things are you buying to really fill up a fridge? Let's use our brains. Come on, bro. Let's use our brains for a minute. It's usually, most people, if they go to go for a shopping in Tesco or Asda or Morrison, wherever you guys want to do, you go to flipping Target in America, regardless, you're more than likely, over a 1 year period, you're more than likely going to buy a lot of the same products. So if you have a lot of money and you can hire a nutritionist that can sift through a lot of the products that you're buying and say, you know what, you can eat this, you can drink this, you can eat this, you can drink this, and cross it out, and you just buy those same products. I don't understand what the problem is. Why? I don't get this. Is what I don't understand, fam. This is what I don't get. And if you're trading for a fight, surely, surely you should be buying food or buying supplements, having thoroughly reviewed it and cleared that this can be consumed in your diet or your diet plan for ahead of the fight. Whilst because he's looking to put on a lot of muscle, he's looking to gain a lot of weight from 147 up until 157. So surely that should be managed effectively from how much you eat, when you eat, what you eat. Is it cleared by the British Boxing Board of Control or UCAD and VADA from the pair of them? After all of those factors are considered, then that's when you can eat X, Y, Z, and you should have your meal prep, bang, 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 and eat at this time, this day, etc. You can't eat at parties, you can't eat at restaurants, you got to carry your containers everywhere, etc. Your supplements, you got to carry that everywhere as well. You got to take this vitamins, etc. I don't understand if you go through all of that to then test positive for a bad substance, unless your drink or your food gets spiked. Unless you've got like a chef, yeah. Unless you've got like a personalized chef, and your chef lives at home with you, and lo and behold, out of the blue, she run out of, I don't know, cooking oil, and she goes and get flipping sesame oil, and all of a sudden there's some bad substances in this sesame oil, then that one. If you get what I'm saying, that's when I can turn around and say, you know what, um, I, I I am empathetic at the situation. Should you fight that weekend? No, no. And all those factors considered, for me, they should pull the fight. For me, they should pull the fight outright. I don't. I don't think there should be even a discussion. Eddie Hearn wants to go on with the fight. Kylie Sanders wants to go on with the fight, but they want to go on with it for the wrong reasons. The managers and the promoters want to go on it, carry on with the fight. It's because they don't want to lose money on the event. They don't want to lose money and have their undercard fighters disgruntled. Okay, if this wasn't making them money, bruv, they would have locked it off and said, you know what, sack it off. Yeah, if this weren't making them money, they would have sacked it off. But because this is like a big thing, this is a big event, Ben versus Eubank, pay-per-view could be one of the biggest, of this year. That's why they're turning around and saying things like, "Oh yeah, this is going to legal battle, etc., etc., etc." For me personally, and the fighters as well. The reason why Eubank and Conor Benn want to fight is because they want to punch each other's heads in. It's a family feud. It's a family rivalry from their fathers, where they both fathers fought in the early late 90s. And of course, that's why they want to fight. They want to fight for their own personal reasons. Okay, I guarantee you, if Conor Benn was juiced up to the max, yeah, and had the maddest stuff in his body, and I'm talking about, you don't know what I'm talking about, juiced up to your eyeballs are red, basically, yeah. And if you had gone to Eubank and said, by the way, yeah, Conor Benn is juiced up to the head, do you still want to fight him? Eubank will say yes. And you know what? Likewise for the other side. Likewise for the other side. So for me, I did not in any way, shape, or form think that this is a good idea, that they should go ahead and that they should continue on with this fight. Do you know what? Should they fight at a later date as well? I don't know. I'm right now. I'm a bit all over the place. Conor Benn, I've signed up for every voluntary anti-doping testing there is. I've never had any issue before. So my team will find out why there's an initial adverse finding in my test. I am a clean athlete and we'll get to the bottom of this. I don't think that he done this deliberately. It's Conor Benn, bro. Come on, bro. Sometimes you gotta look. You gotta test by a person's character. Conor Benn, he's not that cheating type. From everything you know about Conor Benn, being a drug cheat, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It's a far fetched. It's a far fetched reach, but we have to wait and see how this plays out for the next couple of days. The legal proceedings, the rulings will determine whether this fight goes ahead. My personal opinion, as I said before, I do not want this fight to go ahead at all whatsoever. What's going on here? The BBO, British Boxing Board of Control, have said Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn is prohibited as it's not in the interest of boxing. Agreed. Fully agreed. People who cheat should face hefty fines and a couple of years ban, but ban for life is too far. It's difficult to give them hefty bans if they. It's difficult because it depends how it got into the body. It depends how it got into the body. If this was through a household product or a household item that has already been cleared before, then it's harsh. If this is through, I don't know, flipping Actin or something, or bloody Ribena, it's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh. Should he be banned? Yes. But not for a length of time. He should be banned for... it's tough because I would say flipping 3-fight ban or something like that, but it's difficult because some people fight 3 fights in 3 years and some people fight 3 fights in flipping 9 months. So it's a bit all over the place. Fam, it is annoying. It is annoying. Hold on. Okay, and Tehran says that I have to view that Conor knew exactly what he was doing. The guy was looking for a competitive advantage. You cannot say that without fully knowing. People get banned from, like you man have said, for random banned substances. Random. And sometimes they don't know it. Sometimes they don't even know it. It could be in protein shakes. It could be in pre-workouts. It could be in, I don't know, painkiller tablets. Like a lot of the bad substances can be found in a lot of the household products. So me personally, I don't think that he knew exactly what he was doing. It's very difficult to determine that. Calisalden is a non-performance enhancing drug, but it can raise testosterone. So it's the performance enhancing you flipping, bruv. Is this guy a crackhead of something? It's not a performance enhancing drug, but it can raise testosterone. So that means it can enhance your performance. Even I know that, fam. And I ain't even a flipping doctor. Come on, bruv. Eddie's stressing, bruv. Eddie is stressing. Flipping off, fam. It is long, fam. It is bad. You could give your food to VADA and they will test it for you. I only found that out actually after Big Baby Miller tested positive for everything and anything under the sun. He was a walking pharmacist. And he was saying afterwards, I'm gonna send all of my food to the to VADA. I was like, bro, they do that, you know. I didn't know if they did that, but yeah, I think they can do that, to be fair. Flipping out. It has gone nuts. It has gone absolutely nuts. Conor Benn fight against Yukishi Jr. hangs on the balance. Yeah, it's bad, man. Fam. I hope the B sample come. Well, the B sample may not come back in time for the fight. So they've got to make a decision whether they're going to go ahead with this fight or not. But the beast sample, whoever's waiting for it, you can wait for eternity. That ain't coming, bruv. Oh, sorry, Stephen. Big up, Stephen. PED used in rife in boxing. He knew what he was doing. I don't know. We've got to hear back from Conor Benn. I like to think he isn't, but I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I don't know. If he tests positive, bruv, and he knew what he was doing, what is life anymore, fam? What is life? This is like a flipping a priest. Actually, no, that's not good, fam. That's not good, fam. But you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. This is like a religious person. Let's say Mufti Menk, fam. Yeah, comes out and then all of a sudden, like he gets arrested for, I don't know, drug trafficking. Like, bruv, you be thinking, blood, what the hell? Or Pope Benedict, like not Pope Benedict. This, bruv, this is not the flipping 1600s, fam. Pope Benedict 1600s. I don't know, but imagine the Pope gets arrested for flipping being a cartel leader, or to be fair, some conspiracy theorists say that he could be amongst some. Anyway, another topic for another day. Dr. Wolf tickets. What a name. According to Eddie, the B sample won't come back until after the fight, so this will run and run. True. And what Abdul Booth said was, well, it looks like it is somewhat correct. It does take 72 hours to get your B sample back if after you test positive for a banned substance. So I don't know. I could never. This is Faz. We got Faz. I can never respect an athlete after they failed a drug test. It is impossible. Canelo lost my respect too. Conor Benn was winning me over as a fan, but now after this failed drug test, I cannot rate him at all. Big respect to Eubank Jr. for still wanting to fight him. What a man. Most boxers will want to fight their opponent, even if they tested positive for any kind of substance. It's not an exclusive thing for Eubank. Plus the family feud part as well. It makes sense. The board are no fools. They don't want to see, or they don't want to set a precedent. Don't know what Johnny's talking about there, but we move on. Conor Benn has reported, yeah, we know this, fam. We know this, fam. At this point, what's going on? Dr. Usman Sajid is a specialist in testosterone replacement therapy. He lists Conor Benn as one of the athletes he works with. Interesting. UCAD need to go because they have a lot of boxers exemptions. Most of them would get caught by FADA. Exemptions, if they're valid exemptions, then I get it. For example, if you're asthmatic and you need an asthma pump, I consider that an exemption. Should you be able to box whilst being asthmatic or diabetic? In my opinion, probably yeah. But then the chemicals that are amongst those medication can be seen as things that are banned on a VADA list. So exemptions for me, I get medical exemptions. I'm not against it. I'm not medical. I was sick myself, man. Like I was in hospital, etc. And so if you want to box and you're on medication, and they, you get an exemption, then yeah, go crack on. I don't see the issue, because really and truly, it's not really perform like without those medication, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. So I somewhat get it. And if it's not going to be a performance enhancer, then that's the key thing. Is it is it is the aspect pop a PED? Probably not. Like sometimes common sense prevails. And I know this is trace amounts. Is there a threshold for trace amounts? Probably not. And I like for me personally, I'd like there to be some kind of threshold for trace amounts. And I'm talking about if you got less than 0.1 or 0.01% of this drug within your system, then that can be seen as under the threshold for you to get cleared for this fight. But again, this is it's tough because you could test, like you could be clearing it out your system and they just caught you a couple of days after you fully cleared out your system and they found very, very little amounts within it. Oh, I've got what the drug is. Clomiphene is used to induce ovulation, egg production in women who do not produce eggs but wish to become pregnant. Okay. Clomiphene is in a class of medications called ovulatory stimulants. So it's to help women with pregnancies. Why would huh? Okay. It works similarly to estrogen, a female hormone that causes eggs to develop in the ovaries and be released. I'm confused. How did this get in the system? How did this get in the system? Unless I don't know, unless his wife was taking him in, and then through I don't know, them being together, they passed. I don't know, fam. I don't know. I could give you a straight answer, fam. To be fair, that would be a plausible reason, and it's trace amounts as well. Could be plausible. Could be plausible, to be fair, but again, it's tough. It's tough to fully understand where this came from. But we'll end it here, guys. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll end it here, guys. It's very disappointing. Very, very disappointed that Chris Eubank Jr. has not Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn has tested positive for a performance enhancing drug, quotation marks, because it's very ambiguous whether it is or not, but it's on a banned substance. This, and therefore, for me, should this fight go ahead, considering that and the fact that it's the weight element, the fact that Eubank Jr. may be a little bit more weight drained as well, concerned, with his father going into the fight as well, and factored in, I don't think this fight should go ahead for me personally. Okay, and therefore, it's unfortunate the undercard fighters. If this fight does go ahead, they train for months and months and months. It's sad. It's sad. But this is the sport boxing. So if you haven't done already, like the video, subscribe to Off the Cameras Boxing, and onwards and upwards. Until next. Wait, hold on. I think you might have said one more thing. You can these. Oh no, we read that. I read that. All right, guys. Peace and prosperity, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace.